How are you doing with your goals for this year? In today's video, I'm going to share with you some of the lessons that I have learned over this past month in working towards achieving my goals for the year of 2019. I just want to remind you the reason that I'm doing this as part of my videos for this year is because I know the importance and the power of setting goals. And I've really learned that if we will just even do one thing every day that's moving us closer towards our goal, it's amazing how much we can accomplish. But oftentimes we get discouraged or we lose focus, and so we end up not doing even one thing. And then fear and doubt gets in the way and it keeps us from accomplishing our goals. So I'm going to share with you again some of the things that I have learned over this past month. I hope that the things that I am sharing can be helpful to you as you're working towards achieving your goals for this year. And my hope is that you will set some amazing goals of things that you want to accomplish. I mean, shoot for the stars, right? And if we land in the treetops, so that's better than shooting for the treetops and landing in the mud. The first lesson that I've learned or relearned is that self-discipline is really hard. To make changes in our life, that's a challenge. When we don't want to make changes and we feel like somebody else is wanting us to change or encouraging us to change, it's even harder. When we want to make change for ourselves, that's still really difficult to do. It's a challenge to break old habits and old patterns of behavior. And again, the reason for that is everything we do for a reason, or we wouldn't do it. So the patterns and habits that we have in place right now that really determine who we are and the choices that we make right now today, those patterns have been learned and then conditioned over time. And the majority of those patterns of belief and behavior are part of the subconscious part of our brain. So we do it without consciously and actively even thinking about it. So in order to change those patterns of belief and behaving, we need to go back to and identify what are the beliefs that we have adopted, that we have accepted, and that are driving those behaviors, and be willing to eliminate or get rid of the non-working parts of those beliefs and let it go and replace it with the working parts of our belief. And then we need to be consistent enough so that the change in behavior becomes part of who we are. And so for me, the things that I talked about in an earlier video of the self-discipline of getting up at 5:30 in the morning, that's a change in behavior. And as long as I have to put forth effort, so as long as I have to continue to try to get up at 5:30, that still isn't part of who I am. As soon as I begin to wake up at 5:30 every morning, and it's no longer a challenge, and in fact, I feel like something is off when I don't get up at 5:30, that's when I know that that change has become part of who I am. The same holds true for exercise. So I've struggled in getting in a pattern with exercise, but I've been to a place before in my life where if I didn't run on almost a daily basis, then I felt like something was missing or that something was lacking. And so it had become a part of my daily routine, a part of who I am. And so I'm continuing to work on that now. So self-discipline, that's very important in making a change of who we are and helping us to become the person that we need to become in order to achieve the goals that we have set out for us in our life. The second thing is following through with commitments. It's a challenge. Easier to keep commitments to other people than to ourselves. And generally that's because we value what other people think more than what we think of ourselves. And yet when we don't keep those commitments that we've made to ourselves, what we are telling ourselves is that what we say doesn't really matter, or when we make a commitment to ourselves, that doesn't matter. So it actually reduces the value that we have for ourselves. So when we make a commitment or we set a goal that we're going to do something, it's really important that we do that. And as we do that, then our self-worth and our value will increase, which increases our belief in ourselves and our desire to hold those commitments moving forward. The next thing that I've learned this year is Again, there are a few things that hold us back from accomplishing our goals or even putting our goals out there. And one of those is the fear of not being able to accomplish what that goal is. So again, think in your life, how often does fear get in the way of you, of keeping you from doing what you need to do to accomplish the goal? Because there's a fear of, well, what if it doesn't work out? Or what if I get a no? Or what if, whatever the negative thing is, what if that happens? And there's a subconscious then belief that that means something about me. And so if I don't accomplish this, or if I fail at that, then maybe I'm a failure, and then maybe something wrong with me. Working really hard at staying off of autopilot, being conscious throughout the day of what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, and doing that as I review my goals at the beginning of the day. Because what I found with reading my definite chief aim or my goal statement is when my belief begins to lower, then I'm less likely to even go to and read that definite chief aim, because I don't want to be faced with, oh yeah, what if I don't really do this and I put that out there and what does it mean? And so if I become consciously aware of that, then I can know that that's a false belief, make myself do that behavior, and once I do it, then I feel better and my belief increases. The next thing is being real clear on what is your why. So why are you doing the things that you're doing, and why have you set the goals that you've set? If we're not clear on the why, then it's easy to kind of give up on that and to feel like, it's not really that important anyway, and it's not worth the effort that it's going to take to push through and to accomplish that goal. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that on an upcoming video where I talk about running the ultramarathon and completing that 50K race. The next thing that I've learned, and the final thing that I want to share with you on this video, is that time goes by really fast. When I look back on the past 30 days, it's real easy to get caught up in the day-to-day stuff of everyday life. So I need to take care of this, and I need to take care of this, and I need to take care of this. And we can spend our whole life putting out fires and just kind of living on autopilot and letting the emergency of the day or of the hour direct where we go, instead of deliberately planning our day and planning our life and making sure that those things that are important in order for us to create and achieve the life that we want, that we make sure that we get those things done. So it's been really helpful to me as I share these videos with you, is because it forces me to look back on my past month. If I wasn't doing this, it would be easier for me to just continue to move forward and not really look back and see how I am doing and kind of measure my progress. So I encourage you to do the same thing, to look at where are you at today? What are the goals that you have set? What are the action steps that you have set over the past? And look back and see, how are you doing? If you're doing well, great, keep doing what you're doing. If there are areas that you're not doing so well, then look at what's holding you back, or what are the excuses that you have in your life that you use as a way to justify not doing those daily action steps. And then learn from that. Identify the false beliefs that are behind that behavior and be willing to correct those beliefs, to let those false beliefs go, and then move forward with the new beliefs, creating the life that you truly want, a life that you love, because again, whatever you can conceive and believe, you can achieve. Thanks for watching. These videos are meant to help you and to help me, and together as we help each other, we all benefit and we all move forward. So please share with me your experience about what you find that's working for you and the challenges that you're having, and comment down below. And then visit our website at principlebasedliving.com. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, be sure and follow me here.